Welcome to Whilton Mill in the heartland of British motorsport for rounds 3 and 4 of the British Universities Karting Championship 2014. Following the monsoon at the last round at Buckmore, it's thankfully a dry day today, so we're looking forward to an intense day of racing. The drivers in the BUkC don't just race any type of kart, they race in the fastest fleet of arrive and drive karts in the world. These two-stroke karts accelerate to 60 miles per hour in 4.5 seconds, so the championship attracts drivers who have raced in Formula 2, GP3 and are ex-British karting champions and beginners alike. The day will be split into 2 parts with 6 25-minute sprint races followed by 3 hour-long endurances. Let's see how the teams got on.
Whilton Mill in Northamptonshire was the host to rounds 3 and 4 at the 2014 British Universities Karting Championship. The 1200 metre circuit featured 11 corners with a mixture of tight hairpins, fast sweeping bends and several heavy braking points, making for lots of overtaking opportunities with close and exciting racing throughout. An early morning rain shower left the track damp and slippery as the green flag dropped in the first sprint race of Championship Round 3. The drivers would push to get every last bit of pace they could find from the karts and the track, and while setting the fastest lap of the race, Sam Sheehan of Coventry A would battle it out with Joe Richardson of Medway A, John O'Davis of Hertfordshire B and Ollie Greenwood of Huddersfield A. The racing was tough, and with multiple lead changes it went down to the checkered flag, with Tom Seddon of Nottingham A gaining 12 places and taking victory less than a second ahead of Coventry A's Sam Sheehan.
I think the slippy conditions helped a lot. We were just trying to find the right lines at the right time because the track was changing all the time, and it started to dry out towards the end and just sort of barged my way through and got the win.
Coventry's 18 driver Luke Russell took the lead in sprint race 2 by lap 3, but would later fall down to 4th place. Jason Thatcher of Imperial College then got spun around from the lead, and with Oxford Brook's B driver Dak Swannell receiving a black flag, it would mean that Oxford BUkC with driver Will Walter would cross the finish line and take the win. But a post-race penalty would demote him to 3rd place, gifting Luke Russell the win for Coventry A. Dave Waters of Hertfordshire B took an unchallenged victory in sprint race 3, leading from start to finish over 16 seconds ahead of his nearest challenger Scott Michaels from Southampton A, who gained no less than 18 positions from his start position and finished 2nd.
Pretty easy from pole. I think a few other people got caught up in traffic and that kind of thing, so...
Matt Isherwood of Cardiff A had gained 22 positions in the first 12 laps of sprint race 4, but couldn't chase down race winner Chris Hanson of Hertfordshire A, who finished 5 seconds ahead of the field.
It's pretty easy, I just had to get to the front and be consistent, and that's what I did, and I won the race.
Sprint race 5 saw newcomers to the BUkC, the University of the West of England, take their first win with driver Sebastian Hutchinson behind the wheel and setting the fastest lap of the race.
We were just really quick all day, and in the sprint race I just found some pace and managed to get to the front.
The final sprint race saw a late race battle for the lead between Durham A's reigning TKM Extreme British champion Will Van Ness, Oxford BUkC's James Theodore and Coventry A's Miles Murphy. It was Durham A who took the victory, while Oxford BUkC secured 2nd place ahead of Coventry A in the last few corners.
Hold the lap record here in TKM Extreme, I guess that's a bit of a benefit. But we were struggling with the kart that we had, but I worked with Miles Murphy to catch the leader, Oxford BUkC, and managed to pass him with about 5 minutes to go and pulled a gap. I think they were fighting with each other. And yeah, it was a really good race. I actually enjoyed it a lot. It was good.
The results at the end of round 3 show that consistently strong results for the 1st, 2nd and 3rd in their sprint races. Coventry A take the round win and put an end to Oxford BUkC's unbeaten streak. Cardiff A took 2nd place, while the reigning BUkC champions continue their title defence, finishing in 3rd. Oxford BUkC failed to make it onto the podium, but continued to have a strong challenge for the championship in 2014 as they finished 4th. A very competitive year for the Oxford BUkC University overall, it seems. Following the sprint races of round 3, the rain would begin to fall and make track conditions tricky as the endurance races of round 4 got underway, where 2 drivers from each university would pair up over hour-long endurance races, which would include driver changes and pit stops. Coventry A timed their 2nd pit stop to perfection in the first race, where the kart was handed over from Miles Murphy to Joe Charlton, and despite rejoining the race in 4th place, by the time the leading trio had made their final pit stops, Coventry A were back in the lead and able to take the race win by 17 seconds. A similar strategy helped the Coventry B duo of Ben Slater and Colin Fox take third, behind UWTSD Swansea A drivers Josh Gray and Andrew Lawrence, who finished second. The rain had stopped falling, but the track was still damp and slippery, making for tricky changing track conditions throughout the second endurance race. Despite being newcomers to the championship this year, the inexperience of BUkC racing in pit stops did nothing to hinder the University of the West of England, who added to their sprint race win by winning Endurance Race 2, with drivers Sebastian Hutchinson and Jack Hughes. They beat 2013 BUkC Championship runners-up Southampton A's driver duo of James Robinson and Dave Willesey by more than 5 seconds.
Yeah, we worked out like what to do before, and we stuck to that plan, and it seemed to
This
work
kid
out.
here was absolutely flying. Like, we pitted really early, threw him in the cart, and he was gone. Made a massive lead, and I just jumped in and finished off the job, really.
Oxford BUkC seemed to return to form in the third endurance race, with the driver pairing of James Theodore and Craig Mooney taking victory by over 10 seconds, gaining an impressive 28 positions from their starting grid position. Durham A, with drivers Will Van Ness and Andrew Dawson, could only manage second place after losing their advantage in the final pit stop, with Hertfordshire B's John O'Davis and Dave Waters in third. But importantly, Coventry A added to their first endurance win with a 4th place finish in Endurance Race 3, with driver pairing Sam Sheehan and Luke Russell.
I think the slippery conditions favour the more experienced drivers, and we have got some experienced drivers in the team, so it definitely helped us in the Enduros, so I think that did contribute to the win in the end.
At the end of round 4, Oxford BUkC returned to the podium after having had their unbeaten run ended in round 3, but they only finished in third. Coventry A decided that one trophy was not enough to take away from their home round at Whilton Mill, and adding to a round 3 win by taking the honours in round 4 as well, with Cardiff A again joining them on the podium in second place, gifting both teams the all-important championship points.
We're hoping if we can be consistent and clean like we were today, we're hopeful for the championship.
So after a brilliant day's racing at Whilton Mill for the 2014 BUkC season, here's what the championship table looks like. Despite having their unbeaten run brought to an end, Oxford BUkC still top the championship table. Reigning champions Hertfordshire A are 6 points back in second place, but hopeful of successfully defending their title again this year, and Coventry A now sit third in the championship following their success at Whilton Mill. However, with plenty of points on offer in the remaining rounds and lots of racing still to go before the champions are crowned at the British University's Karting Championship 2014, it is still all to race for when the championship visits Glannygores in Wales for rounds 5 and 6 at the British University's Karting Championship 2014.
It's been a great day's racing here at Whilton Mill despite the damp. Coventry stormed to a win in round 3, placing 1st, 2nd and 3rd, and although track conditions were changed due to rain showers this afternoon, they managed to build on their initial victory, placing 1st and 4th. We look forward to seeing what the championship's first visit to Glannygores next round will bring, but for now, good night.